Я радий вам представити нашого першого спікера Радован Бачович. До речі, наша перша доповідь буде на англійській мові, тому слухайте уважно, а я давайте представлю нам нашого першого спікера. Okay, meet our first speaker, Radovan Bac, staff data engineer at GitLab. Radovan is experienced engineer who has a profound application development background in the large international communities, and now he is happy to share his great experiences with us. He armored himself with a profound application development background in the large international companies around the globe, and now he will share his long mileage and experience with a broadened audience. Radovan also strongly advocated for the open source community and open care approach. His topic today will be the art of the discomfort, the shine and misery of rapidly building the modern data products. By the way, don't forget to ask your questions in Slido. We will send you the link for your Slido, so you will be able to send your questions, and also don't forget to put your likes on your favorite questions. We will answer them right after the presentation will end. Meet our first speaker, Radovan Bac. Hi, Radovan, can you hear us? Glad to see you here.
Yeah, of course. I would say finally everything is good and in great shape. Thanks.
Great. So yeah, let's start. Welcome to our virtual stage and good luck.
Yeah, thank you very much for the invitation here. Finally, we have some challenges with everything, so it was really art of discomfort, but luckily we won this time. So what I want to talk about today is my experience about how we build the data service and products. I am Radovan Bac, working as a staff data engineering company called GitLab, and maybe you heard, maybe not. I'll give you more introduction and some kind of context later on. But actually, I want to talk about shiny misery, about rapid building modern data products in the modern stack. Of course, do not underestimate legal and compliance. So whatever I'm talking today is not related anyhow with GitLab Incorporated or its affiliates. So this is just my own experience. So actually, generally speaking, I can tell whatever I want. Well, how everything started. I just want to feel the taste of what we are building, how we are building the stuff, what kind of problem and challenges we have down the road. About GitLab, as I said, I work in GitLab company, as maybe you heard, maybe not. And what makes us unique? Probably we're the most transparent company in the world. You can find many sources where they say like, yeah, whatever we are doing, it's fully transparent. You can find some things in our handbook. Also, we are open source and open core company by default. And actually our operational model is open core. Well, about the company, how everything started. Sorry, I'm going back some, wrong button. We are all remote company from the beginning, so no headquarters, no offices, no hub and satellite place. We should work, all of us literally are working fully remotely. Probably, just to surround myself, we're the biggest all remote company in the world. What does it mean? As I said, no offices, no problem for us. Also, we try to advocate for asynchronous or async way of how we are working. So we don't want to be bothered too much with the meetings, email, any kind of notification, Zoom, Slack, that kind of stuff. And we want to have very focus related time. This is great if you're an engineer, and also you can do many nice and cool things. And also we are a global leader in distributed work, also known as all remote. Well, each company needs to do something, need to sell something, to earn some money. And actually what we are doing as a GitLab, if this conference is organized last year, I would say, okay, we create DevOps product, deliver a single application to help you build your beautiful software services and products, and really great, good collaboration and teamwork. But today, it's something called DevSecOps platform, because it's a single source of truth for your covering the all stages of software development life cycle. So actually, it's development part covered, operational part covered, fully covered with security and compliance. In other words, you know this infinity loop, it's very popular these days. So actually you can do all regarding the management part of your software development life cycle, do operational part, development part, and you're fully secure because we have security and provide compliance outside of the box. If you're not lazy like me, you can see all stages can be fully automated for you. So you can imagine if you're a software developer, you want to build something, Then someone needs to plan what you should do, create verify package. Then you should secure your code, release your code, configure everything you need regarding package management, monitor, govern, and manage at the end. And of course, if you're lazy, all of stages we are providing are here just as a small icon. Well, without any intention to provide you infinite story, without anything about what you're doing, who we are, just to give you a test with some numbers. As I said, zero office, zero problem for us. Biggest all remote company in the world, working really worldwide. Well, we have almost 800 workforces spread across the globe. Literally, it's 6,500 in regions. With very few exceptions, we hire people around the globe. So proud of this number. It's 30 million plus registered users from small, hot startups, academia, government, non-government organization, plus well-known enterprises are using GitLab either as a self-managed or as a SaaS, software as a service option. So whatever you want to do, despite your size, you can find something in our product. Each 22nd of each month for more than 11 years, we create new and release new fancy, nice features of our products without no exception, no delays, and no exclusion. You know what to expect for us. We change this a bit, and we want to release the product, a new version of the product, each Thursday for each month. Why? Because we don't want to bother our guys during holidays season, or maybe weekends, or some national holidays. So everything is done in a working week. As we're talking about most transparent company in the world, whatever we are doing is stored in our handbook. Officially, it's 2,500 web pages of text. Unofficially, it's 4 or 5 times more. What is in it for you? You can imagine if you're running a small hot startup, you need to hire new people, then what you should do? You can hire a professional agency, it can be expensive. You can ask your friend, can be reliable all the time. Or you can go to our handbook and see how we are doing the stuff, despite what kind of software engineer you want to hire or kind of manager. Or even better, if you have a company, everything is going well, you want to establish a data team. As I work in data team, you can ask me, I will charge you. Or you can go to our handbook and see actually what kind of projects we are doing, what kind of tech stacks we are using. I will show you later on what you should focus on, what roles, grades, and job grades are there, and everything, the comprehensive overview about, okay, what data team should contain and what we should focus on. Everything is there. Please check GitLab handbook, whatever we are doing is there. With very few exceptions, because of legal and compliance, the full entire operational model are located there. Well, we reached 1 billion CI/CD pipeline executed in the last 11 years. We are so proud of this number. And also, some very well-known actors also trust in us and was early investor, early adopter in GitLab. So I know Mr. Kucher know what we are doing. Let's move a bit to the data platform. As I said, I'm not working a core business and core product. I show you a little bit before. We just try to leverage the data usage and try to make our product better. How are we doing that? What kind of doubts we have down the road? Actually, we want to deliver results that matter with trusted and scalable data solutions. What does it mean? We want to be efficient, decrease time to market in a very cost-efficient fashion, try to avoid bankruptcy. Today, it's very easy to turn on the resources on the cloud and you will run out of money very quickly. So trust me, you should create and find a very good balance regarding that. This is our data team. It's a very few of us spread around the world, which is also good for us to cover 24/7 in an organic way without staying in late night or during the weekends. So actually, this is who we are, and also we have a vision. Well, there's something called data value pyramid. If you're in data world, you should know this or you should pay attention to this. What does it mean? Before, in all ages, we tried to capture the data and then want to sort them out and create some kind of information, which is actually well-organized structure, have some meanings, useful for the business, and you can calculate it and create some metrics. Then we want to move to have a knowledge from the data. And at the end of the story, we should probably have the wisdom. Then we understand what's going on here and what kind of action we should apply there to provide the inputs and results we want. Currently, at the moment, GitLab data team is somewhere in between with very strong tendency to go, is it right or left? I don't know, but actually to move and use data as a knowledge and wisdom and try to process it in a proper way. This is called data value pyramid, but for sake of this presentation, it's kind of more a line laying down on the slide. Well, if you're talking about data capability models and what kind of analytics exist in today's world, in all good days, we just want to understand what's going on. And of course, with this emerging of AI and everything more intelligent than it was before, we want to understand what to press here to get the desired output there. It means we want to fully have a prescriptive analysis and really understand the context of the data and context of the behavior. Same goes for us here. We are somewhere in between with strong tendency to go to predictive analytics or prescriptive analytics. So that's one of our, let's say, mission. Well, in order to use the data, you need to create a platform, you need to provide the pipelines, many other things. You need to think about security all the time. You need to think about compliance, and you need to think about, okay, how be very quick and decrease time to market. What we are doing here, as I said, as a company, we are open core and open source. Same goes for the data team. It just spill over to us in our team. So we create to and for the community. What does it mean for all of us? It means we create something for us and for the community. And also we want to hear from community how things are going so everyone really can contribute to this. And also we have something called dog fooding. Luckily for us, we produce a product. And we want to understand how to leverage usage of the GitLab product for our data journey. And that's something we're called dog fooding. And I think it's also a good technique for all of us to try to do and use dog fooding as much as possible in order to leverage our understanding and our action and be more efficient at the end of the day. Well, we create and produce DevSecOps platform, and also we need to cultivate and embrace DevSecOps culture in the data team. So now you can see a couple of angles here, what I want to try to. We are working in the data team, and we are the data team. We provide and create data products and data services. On the other side, you need to take care about DevSecOps and about the data. So it's very complex stuff. And also you need to take care about the platform. Well, regarding the tech stack, as I said, it's mainly open source. I will provide a full comprehensive overview on tech stack. Well, what is shine and misery of rapid building modern data application these days? If we're talking about the data world, and if you're talking about how to use modern data stack to create the data products, this can be a bit complex. Why? Because we have a couple of tasks and requirements from the business what we need to do. We need to support data fusion, distributed analytics team. We have analysts for each part of the company. Let's say marketing, finance, engineering, people, etc., etc. So actually, we need to provide everything they need. So it's a very comprehensive set of tasks you need to satisfy. Well, as a data platform, we currently have a backlog of plus minus 40 data sources. I would say it's 45 these days. And also, we need to maintain, build, and take care about data pipelines. So also we need to monitor, sort out the issue in a very proactive way as soon as possible, create new pipelines, and optimize existing pipelines. We are talking about the cost, so you know the drill about. It's fairly easy to turn on the cost and go to the bankrupt quickly. But what we want to do is to do everything in a very, very efficient way. Also, we need to take care about compliance from the perspective of latest version, the latest satisfied version for us and for us, our use cases, and providing data service. So this can be very overwhelming and complex. Well, in numbers, this is a statistic actually what is the challenges and tasks we have on daily basis. 200,000 query statements executed each day, 2,700 models in dbt we process and transform the data every day. We have 88 active flows in Airflow DAX, and also capture the data from more than 40 data sources connected. Snowflake is our single source of truth for databases, and we contain more than 100 terabytes of data. Plus, we have 100 plus SQL users. I won't say this is super big, but it's more like this is more complex than big, right? And how we to get there? This is something people call modern data stack, but actually this is our data stack. You see many components here, so there is no monolith in our world. Start from left to right. We are using multi-cloud approach because, let's say, Google Cloud, AWS depends on the use case. Some tools are there, some tools are here, so we need to stick and follow up the source product and what they're doing, so we need to capture data from that. Well, Rancher, Terraform, and Kubernetes we are using for scaling, orchestration, and outside of the box. The main intention here for us was to try to avoid vendor lock as much as possible. I know it's not a real deal and 100% avoidable, but we try to do our best. Then we want to orchestrate the data using open source Apache Airflow. For analytics, very good tool called Snowplow, and some things like products out of the shelf to get the data from point A to point B, like 5, 10, and stage. We did a many exploration down the road. We tried to do something with Apache Spark in Iceberg, and of course for processing and transformation, well on Python. Then Permafrost, actually it's a single source of truth to manage the privileges in your Snowflake system. I'm so proud of this because I'm a maintainer of this open source project. Please you check if you're interested. Like if your use case is to use Snowflake, you want to have something outside of the box to manage roles, users, and privileges, this is a great place to be. dbt is well-known database transformer as a single source of truth to transform the data, along with Singer, which actually help us to extract part and push the data in database, along with Meltano. Meltano you can think of like ETL as a service. Well, when it comes to the storage, we are using Snowflake as a single source of truth for store the data, and Monte Carlo for data observability, and also take care about the shape and good health of the data. Our guys from data science and machine learning team are using Jupyter, Tableau. I put Sisense here as gray because we are decommissioning them. So actually, this is currently our tech stack and what we are using. Pretty much complex, and what is good here, you can easily exclude one tool from this landscape and put another tool, depends on use case, or simply extend the landscape regarding the data. So actually, our main dilemma was make or buy something. Should you use your brain power to create something scalable, or should you pay to the cloud provider and use fully managed service by them or by you? There is no clean answer here. You should take care and conclude what actually you want to reach here. So we try to shift our logic a bit. You saw many tools there. So we try to think, okay, how we can create a communication via code. Well, we shift the paradigm to use infrastructure as a code. All of these tools should be automated, and outcomes should be predictable, repeatable, versionable, very transparent, and very efficient. Also, this stick with our company values. It means, okay, let's communicate via code. Do not do drag and drop development, or do not do anything by yourself, because you should make your life easier. So this is recently how we shift the paradigm, and I think we have many benefits for us because we have single source of truth for our data platform infrastructure. Few days back, we become a part of the entire GitLab company infrastructure pool, and it means we have the very good established process, can be easily testable and fully automated. Well, we start to think, okay, for some of the tools, we should use Google Kubernetes engine. And in that case, we are able to satisfy a couple of requirements to try to avoid vendor lockdown, to have a full control, sometimes very overwhelming, and to be in control of scaling both horizontally and vertically, and also to be in control regarding security. And our use case for Kubernetes is to have a microserver deployment for orchestration of the data, to have a pipeline we can easily do up and running or clone the existing environment for us, and we are sure we have very scalable application. Key features for us is to manage Kubernetes, to have automated scaling, to be sure about security compliance, and to be sure about integration. You see many building blocks in our platform, so it's very overwhelming if you want to do everything manually. Regarding Apache Airflow, we also thought, okay, what should be the proper solution here? Should we go and take fully managed service, or should we use everything but ourselves? We decide to use Apache Airflow as fully managed service by us. It's an open source platform. It provides orchestration of the data, take care about your pipeline. So actually, you can execute many works and pipelines. So actually, the primary use case for Airflow is data pipeline orchestration, doing ETL or ELT processing, depends how you like it, and also to do automation in diverse industries workflow. Like our data scientists use Airflow for their use cases. We as a data engineer use Airflow for extract the data or transform the data or load the data. Airflow is well known on the open source sky, and I would say it's very good set of functions inside it, provide you really very rich UI and logging, almost infinite scalability and extensibility. What is the biggest win for us using Apache Airflow in a very specific way? We are using Apache Airflow along with Kubernetes to be able to isolate our jobs and scale our jobs. Not all pipelines are created or treated equally. So based on the importance or volume of the data we want to load, we are combining Apache Airflow along with Kubernetes. Well, to wrap up everything here, we are using with small help of Terraform. It's an open source infrastructure as a code tool, which enables us to collaborate together on the entire team level. And we use declarative configuration language to provide the service and provide network infrastructure and application deployment. You see from these slides, we are on our own regarding the building, maintaining, and extending the data platform. So we need to have toolbooks and skill sets to be able to support that. And for us, we decide to go with Terraform and just hook up on the GitLab entire company pipeline, because as a data team, we need to build our own set of tools. Well, for us, great benefit of using Terraform is infrastructure as a code, multi-cloud provisioning, which is also cool, and which is also important for us. So if you have a declarative configuration language, you can easily see a readable code and what that code will do. Plan and apply workflow, state management, and also I want to add here, fairly easy to create a backup in case something go wrong because life happens, or to create a testable environment like production-like in a matter of minutes. I think now in a matter of 15 minutes, we can easily do up and running for the entire environment. Without Terraform, this wasn't possible, and each kind of upgrade was hell, each kind of problem was hell for us. This makes us very disciplined in order to think about data platform in a very declarative way and to see the comprehensively what the results will be, what we want to expect. Well, on the top of Terraform, we are using package manager for Kubernetes application because we want to simplify development and still have one single source of truth for microservice deployment. So you can imagine, okay, we create a data product and data service, but in microservice fashion. So it means we have a standardized set of tools and fully manageable capacity to create the full data platform for us. It can be reproducible, versionable, collaborative, and efficient tool. So everything inside the Helm as a top on Terraform, we are able to use to build our environment. Well, if you go deep and talk about, okay, what are the building blocks of modern data stack and why we decide to go for this set of tools, the answer is very simple. This works for us. It doesn't mean necessarily this should work for you, or maybe your use case is a bit different, but we always think, okay, and while evaluating challenging this, is this the proper setup? For now, for us, it is, but we always try to explore new tools and new ways of thinking. Well, so this combination, for us, this helps us a lot to really own and have full ownership on the platform. And this is our story. Provide and provision infrastructure with Terraform and try to do a leverage using and function of Terraform as much as possible. Kubernetes cluster orchestration with Google Kubernetes Engine. Then on the top of that, package management with Helm. Everything is automatically created. Even better for us, in our GitLab product, we create CI/CD pipeline. With one press of button, we are far away from full new environment. Helm charts deployed on Kubernetes Engine. It's very smooth. And we integrated the workflows and create all pipelines with Airflow. In general, this is how things are going with us. Well, to recap the benefit and play with the numbers, so tell me the numbers and show me the numbers. We have 88 active Airflow DAGs, 100 plus tasks every 24 hours or even faster, and we have task dynamism with Airflow. As I said, we can easily scale up to infinity because we run Kubernetes pod for each pipeline we have. Kubernetes is taking care about that. We have very cost-effective solution, and we have on-demand node provision with Terraform. Our downtime is very minimal. I think 15, 45 minutes, but not more than 1 hour. So this is a recap. If you're using this approach, this is the leveraging and benefits for us. Let's wrap it up and just consider a couple of best practices quickly. Security, we do everything in private cluster. We use VPC peering to be on the safe side and bright side and try to stay secure. Regarding IAM controls, we are going with least privileges principle. Just provide what is needed for each member, each row in machine with zero trust. We have node pool isolation, so we can easily scale and protect any kind of vulnerable or compromised node because everything is properly isolated. Security secrets, we should consider this and fix this in the future because we iterate on this process. There are plenty of options on open source Sky or built in on the clouds, so up to you to decide based on your case. Scalability containerization, you should grow and your platform will grow with you. Well, we introduce HPA, horizontal pod auto-scaling, and in that case, we can define from to number of nodes, and then we are fine. We don't need to care about reach the limit. Also, regarding the database, I forgot to mention, databases are fully managed by cloud provider here, so it's almost infinite scaling. You know, in real life, it's not going just like that, but for us, doing the stuff. We are providing task parallelism to be faster and decrease time to market. We have resource requests and limits, and we consider and try to assess the good option for our persistent storage. Sometimes it's bucket, sometimes it's a volume, persistent volume, etc. All depends on the use case. Well, also we provide Kubernetes node pools for better scalability. Monitoring and logic, of course, life happens all the time. You need to be aware and you need to be prepared. We use Prometheus Grafana, like Kubernetes native monitoring solution. It's really well connected and we can easily see what's going wrong. Alerting and notification channels, in that case, we are connected with Slack. We have one dedicated channel just for problems and issues, and our person on triage can easily notify what's going on because you're immediately alerted. Then we try to analyze and see airflow metrics and try to make it more efficient. And of course, final recap, do not chase new shiny tools all the time at any cost. It's not necessarily. Not all companies need fan capacity. Maybe you're a small startup. Think about your world and your boundaries and to play inside that framework and domain. Do not overcomplicate your setup. Just start. Of course, always iterate on your process and make it better and better and better. Dream big, but start small and build small. Any kind of solution, bad or good, stick with the best practice or not, legacy code or not, is your solution. So please take care of it. And don't forget, everyone can contribute. That's our mission. Probably can be yours. So yeah, please contribute. And of course, this is more about me. If you're eager to contact me, find me, ping me, ask me, say something bad, something nice. I'm always open to discuss with you and exchange the ideas and information from, especially from open source Sky and cloud Sky. And of course, thanks to organizers because you invite me. I'm more than happy to share my journey experience with you. Unfortunately, we are time limited here. We can tell this story and spend a couple of days on a discussion. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. I hope you enjoy, same as me. I'm open for any kind of your questions.
Yeah, Radovan, thank you very much for your inspiring talk. Yeah, let's answer several questions from our spectators. By the way, guys, don't forget, if you forget to ask any question, you have the link for Slido in our YouTube stream. And yeah, please leave your questions if you forget about it. Okay, yeah, so first question, it will be not maybe about the technological stuff, but maybe some off top. Yeah, the question is about how you manage your blockers and, for example, check your statuses in GitLab if you mentioned you don't have any meetings and dailies and so on. So is it like some on-spot things or you do not do any meetings, you just chat?
No, no. Actually, I didn't say we don't have meetings. I would say meetings are not mandatory in GitLab. It is cool. Usually, we have checkups on the team level once per week, and each morning we have a bot in Slack with one data daily channel. So you just need to type typical agile statement like what I did, do I have any blockers, and what I plan to do next today. So actually, that is how we replace, because as I said, we are 24/7. It will not be possible to have a daily stand-up. So we replace daily stand-up, regular daily stand-up, either online or in live, in person, with bot in Slack channel. Also suggest to everyone to use that, because instead of spending 20 minutes, you can do whatever you want during the day, or even if you forgot something, sometimes you should do it afternoon. Regarding the sync meetings, I would say it will be good if you have at least once per week team meetings you want to discuss. Everything else should be on the fly. You see, we're spread around the world, so it's very difficult to gather people all at least once per week in one time zone or 1 hour to do a dedicated meeting. But actually, we are doing that. I would say that immediately after this talk, I will jump on our meeting, and maybe you can jump whenever you want, you can leave whenever you want. But actually, what is important thing? We try to record at every meeting so you can catch up later on. We have, or it's mandatory to have an agenda for each meeting so you can catch up later on. And you have a very good, let's say, archive regarding what was done, what was promised, and so on. Even better, whatever we are talking about and all meetings you can find in GitLab Unfiltered channel. So you can type. If I need to recall something, I can go there and find what I need. So actually, I provide you a couple of techniques how you should overcome that 24/7 way of working, how you can easily sync. Also, from my experience, the best experience is regarding create a video and create an agenda and record your meetings. I hope that answered your question.
Yeah, thank you very much for your answer. Okay, the next question will be about the documentation. How do you manage your documentation for such a large amount of data? Do you use some data catalog tools like Data Hub or Amundsen? Yeah, that's the question.
Well, that's our one of the pain point. To be honest, we try to introduce data catalog, the official tool using for data catalog, end of this year, beginning of the next year. On the other side, whatever we are doing, we stick with handbook first approach. Whatever you want to do, you should mandatory document it in handbook. Go and type GitLab handbook data, and you find all details about the data team. So somehow we create a discipline for us to document the stuff and have only one single source of truth. If you're in doubt what is the single source of truth, go to handbook. That's a single source of truth. Otherwise, it can be problematic. We have some things in the issue, in merge request, in some documentation, but whatever is super important, it should be in handbook as a single source of truth. So actually, that's a starting point for our knowledge base. I think that's a good way because we have something called ETLD, like extract, transform, load, and document. So force yourself and create that habit and discipline to document whatever you're doing and whatever you're talking about. Of course, from that handbook, you have links here and there. Depends actually what you want to do. Sometimes it's going to code, sometimes going to README file or some kind of run books if you have some repetition to do each and every day. But actually, we stick with the handbook first approach. That is what we are talking about transparency.
Good, okay. Thank you. Yeah, I have one more question from our spectators. What approach do you follow for Spark cluster provisioning? Is it SaaS or it is on premises?
Yeah, actually, we try to experiment with Iceberg and Apache Spark. To be honest, Spark is my weapon of choice, if you ask me, especially in the past. Now I see it's going a little bit down, but that can be subject to another conversation and discussion. What we are doing regarding Spark, when we play with that, we use fully managed service by cloud provider. We don't want to spend too much time because administration of Spark can be hell sometimes. On the other side, we want to do a quick prototyping and up and running time to produce some result for the business partner. And for that reason, we went, okay, we should use fully managed service by cloud provider, despite what kind of cloud provider you want to choose, because everything is already ready for you. So you can start small, do some kind of prototyping and produce the data. In that case, we went for that. At the end of the day, it's up to you to decide, but that part was fully managed. As I said, we just stopped and experimentation stage regarding using Spark. But yeah, all depends, as I said. Okay?
Cool. Yeah, thank you. Okay, yeah, and the last question from our Slido. What advice would you give to teams looking to implement similar approaches to accelerate their development or deployment type pipelines? What actually maybe you can, I don't know, mention some pain points, yeah, some problems, some recommendations which you face. Yeah, please.
This can, I understand, this can take days or weeks
Yeah.
to discuss about each point. But to sum up and
Maybe.
create recapitulation, we always stick as a team with the open source approach. Find something as a primary option on open source Sky. There are plenty of reasons for that. Second, try to embrace DevOps culture. I don't want to say you should use tool A or tool B or tool C. Doesn't matter. Embrace that culture inside your minds and among your team members. This can boost your productivity and make you more efficient. Because if you have a comprehensive tool and at least knowledge and discipline how you should go from one stage to another, and then you can move forward. Of course, don't forget to measure all the metrics to tell you how efficient you are. You can easily create the metrics like, okay, in DevOps world, you have something called DORA metrics, and this will tell you many answers like, okay, how good you are, how efficient you are, how good you are in deployment, and what is time to market. Like, okay, my code is ready to go to production until my code is running properly as per design on production. So actually, please consider DevSecOps approach, mindset, open source tools, be very pragmatic, learn and try to automate it as many fixes as possible. And don't create compromise regarding your code base because you will pay that later and it will be very expensive. So these are my advice in a nutshell.
Okay, thank you very much for your talk, for your answers to questions. And guys from the chat, thank you very much for your questions. Don't forget to take part in next Q&As. And yeah, Radovan, thank you very much for your talk. And I wish you will be the speaker maybe in our next events. Yeah, thank you very much. We will
always happy.
event.
Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Always happy to talk. Bye-bye.